What's up, guys? It feels great to be back for a classic pay-per-view watch-along, and we've got a good one for this Sunday evening. WWE Fully Loaded 2000 is on tap. Been wanting to watch this show with you guys for quite some time. I did a review of the show like 10 years ago. It's in much need of an update and an upgrade, so I figured this would be a fun one to watch because it took place 22 years ago in the summer, in the month of July, and one of my favorite pay-per-views WWE did around that time because of the 3 matches that headlined the show. So as we've been talking during recent watch-alongs, we said that this is one we're going to want to do at some point, so we penciled this one in for today, and it's our first time back here doing a Sunday night watch-along in a couple of weeks because of my schedule and Summerslam and things like that going on. But it's good to see everybody here. Yes, the person who asked, Tatanani, next week we are going to do, 1 week from tonight that is, we are going to do Summerslam 1990, another one of my favorite shows ever, and we're going to take a look at that unless I'm forgetting something major that's taking place next Sunday and anything gets in the way of that. Summerslam 1990 will be 1 week from tonight next Sunday. I do want to apologize because we're in A&E WWE biography season, and they go on the air at the same time that we go live for these watch-alongs, but we were here first, so we're not moving. I always have to wait anyway to watch the documentaries until Elizabeth gets home, and then we can watch it together, so I'll be checking out the Lex Luger doc tonight. So those of you who are choosing this stream over the Lex Luger documentary, you're just going to TiVo that and watch it later, or DVR it, I should say. TiVo is a bit dated. I appreciate you being here, and sorry that we have to go head-to-head with that, but I'm just used to coming up here at 5 o'clock Pacific time on Sunday nights for these things. It's a very convenient time for me, and I really don't want to change it. So we are here to watch Fully Loaded 2000. Should be fun. Hopefully, while I've been rambling, most of you who are here every week know what to do. Head on over to Peacock and pull up your WWE Fully Loaded 2000. You're going to want to go to the Fully Loaded page and look for Season 3. This is the third and final installment of Fully Loaded. They only did 3 of these in 98, 99, and 2000. And pull up Season 3 there, Episode 1. And according to Peacock, the runtime on this is 2 hours and 41 minutes. So we follow along on Peacock. Once we all hit play together, the timer above my head will start moving. If you are following along on another platform, the WWE Network or overseas or wherever, you'll probably sync up pretty good, but not perfectly. So just keep that in mind. Also, I want to thank everybody that was here yesterday for the pretty good turnout for the podcast. We got 10,000 views in the first 3 hours of that thing. Pretty good, much larger an audience than normal, and took in about 150 new subscribers as well. So if you're a new subscriber, I appreciate you being here. Want to congratulate We Are Pro Wrestling for reaching 10,000 subscribers this week. That's a fun milestone to hit, to cross over and get into that those 5 digits there. I remember my first 10,000. It's a great feeling. Congratulations to you, dude. And We Are Pro Wrestling does great work. So head on over to his channel and give him a subscription as well. But like I said, yesterday was a great turnout for the podcast, despite the 2 little service interruptions, or not service interruptions, but streaming interruptions we had. We also had 2 little interruptions during SummerSlam, during my SummerSlam review, and to the point where I even restarted the stream. So I got in touch with Spectrum today, and I did a couple of upgrades, had them test all my equipment, run a test, run a system reset, and we should be really good. And literally, just as I am saying that, we are running into these same problems. So the point I was making is that this is what our internet speed is looking at. That's pretty damn good, right, from Spectrum there. So that's what we got going on here. I got a strong computer, but there is something going on between OBS and YouTube right now that I can't quite figure out. The good news is, if this happens throughout the stream tonight, it's not going to be a big deal, because what keeps us going here and what keeps these live streams, or I'm sorry, these watch-alongs working, is the timer above my head. So even if we have that little interruption again, my timer will not stop moving, and neither will yours. So even if we buffer or whatever, there might be some adjustments we need to make, but just do it. Just use the timer above my head. So as long as your Peacock matches the timer above my head, no matter how many interruptions we have or what the hell goes on here, you will still be able to follow along. So it'll be a little bit less annoying than when you're doing a podcast and I'm actually trying to talk the whole time. Here, we're just watching it together, and if this happens a couple of times, we should be able to manage it. The other good news is, both of the times that we've had interruptions, just like we experienced right now, were only in the first few minutes, the first 20 minutes of the stream. And then everything got fine after that. It was fine for SummerSlam. It was fine yesterday for the podcast once we got through the first 20 minutes of the stream. So I'm going to look further into this and try to figure out what exactly is going on. It has nothing to do with the internet. I know that now for sure. And I have a great computer, everything connected. YouTube tells me I have an excellent connection. I see no issues whatsoever other than that occasional interruption. So if anybody has any streaming experience or advice, you want to hit me with a DM on Twitter, see if there's any other troubleshooting I can do. But aside from buying a new computer, which I don't need, I don't know really how to manage this. But I feel like I've done everything I can on my part. But anyway, we're going to watch Fully Loaded 2000 anyway. Like I said, if you see me stop and that little thing starts turning in the middle, once I pop back up, just make sure our timers match. That's all you got to do, and we will be just fine. And like I said, we might have another quick interruption here in the next couple of minutes, but once we get moving, I think everything is going to be just fine. I'm going to say hi to the chat, get our peacocks pulled up, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Cheers to you, by the way. SCW Wrestling Channel is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. I'm glad you're here. Good evening to you. Same goes for Tatanani and Jet the Hawk and Vash. We Are Pro Wrestling, who I just shouted out a minute ago. Divine Ricks is in the house. Ray Frand is here. We got WWE Fan 22, Deshaun, David Brown. Lots of good monkey wrenches in here. Hassan, CCDC. George Morris is in the house with a $5 super chat. Hey, Greg, how are you doing, and how are your cats? Fully Loaded 2010 out of 10. The summer of 2000. 1 year before the Summer of Hell 2001, Be Safe. Yeah, I was at the pay-per-view after this. I was at Summerslam 2000 in Raleigh and had really good seats for that, and that was a fun show to go to. And the whole summer of 2000 was just so hot with Backlash and Rock winning the title, and then the Iron Man match at Judgment Day, which we also just watched recently. Now coming in here to Fully Loaded and watching Angle, Benoit, and Jericho get these big match opportunities was pretty awesome. So I might agree with you on the 10 out of 10. However, I don't remember much about the undercard. So as we watch the show here, it'll be interesting to see what some of the, lower card or mid card matches are like on this thing. But thanks again, George. Cats are doing just fine. They're hanging out, chilling, and no updates there. Bub is still plugging away. God bless him. But K-Dog's Kennel is here as well. Very happy to see you here. Welcome back, my friend. Next ultrasound for my leg is the 18th. Nice. Okay, I will please keep us posted, and I will be keeping you in my thoughts for your appointment coming up in 11 days. Also, Mike Witt is back. Yeah, we missed the watch-alongs. Yeah, I had to take a couple of Sundays off due to our scheduling, but we are back now, and we'll be back next week. Like I said, SummerSlam 1990. Warrior Rude in a cage, Hogan Earthquake, Hart Foundation Demolition. Great shit, man. Wilbert Reed, good to see you, man. Appreciate that $5 from you. Can't wait for this one. We are going to be hitting play on this in just a minute, I promise. Rented this tape on VHS several times. Good evening, and Greg and everyone. I didn't check to see if I have this on VHS. I think I might. But I have the original pay-per-view recording that I ordered off pay-per-view, complete with Sunday Night Heat and the whole deal. I have all of those from back in the day. So I did have a copy of this, but maybe not the VHS tape. I got to check. K-Dog's Kennel, Solid Monster just hit 70,000. That's awesome. Congrats to Solid Monster. I'm just about half of his. We just hit 34,000 yesterday during our big little increase there during the podcast. So congrats to him. One of our good friends here on the channel. We love that guy, and happy for him. Who else is here? Hollywood Guy is here. Ben. Wilbert, I said hi to you already. Thanks again, Andy. We got some more super chats, and then we'll be hitting play in 1 second. Where'd I leave off? Divine Ricks, appreciate the $5 from you, and thank you for being here. Another reason why I'm kind of shooting the shit for a couple of minutes is just to make sure we're smooth sailing before we hit play. That way, we don't have to worry about any bullshit once we get going. But thanks again for that $5, Divine. Your review on this pay-per-view years ago was one of the reasons why I became a fan of yours. Fully Loaded 2000, one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time. Yeah, there's a couple of reviews I think I want to revisit. And maybe do again now that it's been so many years, and there's a big project I'm working on that's also been about 10 years since I've done. So just stay tuned for that. Holidays 2022 coming up. WWE Fan 22, appreciate the $5 from you. Feels like a pay-per-view Sunday whenever you do these watch-alongs. I like that feeling, right? Hope you always keep doing the watch-alongs. As long as there's a decent enough audience in here every week, I will definitely do them because they're fun and they're easy, and it provides content to the channel without me having to do a whole lot of work. It's just a little bit of a setup and a thumbnail and set the stream up and throw a timer up there, and we good. So when it comes to all the work that it usually takes for a content creator to put into YouTube, these things are very easy to do, and they keep you engaged with your audience, which I really think it helps. It would be nice if we could triple or quadruple the audience in here every week, but for the 100 or so, or a little bit less that's in here, generally every week, I think it's a lot of fun. And we'll keep doing it as long as we can. But it looks like that should do it for the pleasantries. I think I got all the super chats answered, and I'll be shouting out people and talking to you guys as we go here. But I think it's about time, now that it's 15 past the hour, that we hit play. That way we can wrap this stream up in a nice 3-hour limit. If you look at all of it's funny too, if you look at all the watch-alongs on my playlist, the classic pay-per-view watch-alongs, they're all like 2 hours and 59 minutes, 2 hours and 58 minutes. We always go like a minute under 3 hours. I don't know why. We have this really down to an exact science, so we're good at it. All right, well, during this time, hopefully you guys have pulled up your fully loaded 2000 over on the Peacock. I'm going to hit play on this right now. If you have any ads to watch or anything like that, get that out of the way. And what you want is all of your zeros down there at the bottom, and then we're all going to hit play together and go from there. So I am all set on my end. Like I said, I do this with 2 computers, so I have to double mouse this thing, hit play with one hand and the timer with the other. Let me just get my finger on the trigger here. All right, my streaming light is still green. We seem to all be good to go. We're going to do a countdown from 3 and hit play together on WWE Fully Loaded 2000. So here we go. Y'all ready? 3, 2, 1, play. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect on my end. And that old, awesome WWE scratch intro logo. Like I said, just another reminder. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but if you see me freeze when I come back, just make sure our 2 timers match, because we may or may not have a little bit of some choppiness if it happens again. But keep in mind, if you ever do see me freeze, I always come back somewhere between 10 and 20 seconds from the time that I freeze. So you just might have to do some adjusting on whatever your device you're watching fully loaded to fast forward or rewind or whatever to get your timer match in mind. But tonight, it's all about the timer, so just keep that in mind. It's all about the timer and how to press it. I tried. All right, nice little opening video package. I barely remember any of this. It's kind of got like a casino theme or a dice or poker theme or something. By the way, cheers. Don't have any Broken Skull lagers tonight, but I do have some trusty Stellas. Can't go wrong with the Stellas. Cheers to you. I'm going to eat half of this gummy. Yeah, the poster did have Stone Cold on it, but maybe at the time they were expecting him back. No, he wasn't back. They did the same thing with Triple H at Vengeance 2001. Triple H was on the poster for that, but he didn't return to after the Royal Rumble, or at the Royal Rumble. All right, here we go. The signs, man, the crowds, the jackedness of it all. Another thing that just occurred to me about these potential interruptions we might see, if I interrupt, I don't have to stop anything. My timer keeps running and my fully loaded keeps running. So you guys are going to be the one inconvenienced if I stop. You're going to have to sync up with me. But if we have an interruption like we did before, I can just keep watching and everything's fine on my end. So you guys might have to do a little work. Sorry about that. I'll send you all a cookie in the mail if you have to do any adjustments. Here comes Trish and Albert. Are those all of them? TNA? 2000 Trish. Not sure what was better than 2000 Trish. Actually, I do. 2005 Trish. And 2004 Trish. And 3 Trish. 7 Trish. And present day Trish. I was at the Raw. It was in 2000. I don't remember what month. It must have been in March or April, maybe early around WrestleMania time. It was when Trish did she was like seducing Bubba Ray on the tables in the back, and she was like in this white lingerie thing. I was at that show. Got to see that on the Titantron. All right. I think we're back. We're good. So like I said, this only happened for the first 20 minutes of the last 2 streams this has happened in, and we are now at just under 20 minutes, according to this. So these should smooth out and not be a problem again. But like I said, you just got to do the timer. So my timer is still matching. Everything's fine with me. But yeah, if you ever see that happen, you'll see me pop back up. But like I said, these are the internet speeds we're dealing with here. So I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I don't think it's going to be a major problem for the whole stream. Besides, we got Trish to look at, so. All right, here come the Hardys. Oh, they're taking on the Hardys. See, I love not knowing the card. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, even if I do freeze, as long as you guys keep watching, yeah, we're going to be fine either way. That didn't occur to me. So, yeah, if we do have a freeze, just keep watching your shit. When I come back, our timers should still sync. So nobody should have to do anything. You just have to sit through that annoying 10 seconds of or 20 seconds of me probably making a goofy face from wherever it froze. Yeah, so I guess if we're going to have these problems, watch-alongs are probably the best type of streams to have this happen, because we can still watch the show. The show's not lagging, just my bald ass. So this is a intergender. I like this. So it's Lita and the Hardys against TNA and Trish. Call me Mr. Freeze, Chili McFreeze. It's just extra annoying when I have technical difficulties because I have such good shit. I got two great computers down here. I got two computer towers, both hardwired directly into an Ethernet port right on the wall. The modem and the router is right there on the other side of the wall in the walk-in closet. I've got the strongest internet spectrum offers. I pay literally as much money as you possibly can. All my other shit is good. I got a good webcam, a good mic, a good everything. There's no excuse for this not to work. Pisses me off. We demand perfection here on this channel. There's no excuse for this Bush League jabroni nonsense. Sometimes I see people live streaming on YouTube. It looks like they're recording on a Sega CD. And I'm like, how does anybody watch this shit? So I certainly want to make this stuff watchable. Was Stacy in WWE yet? No, Mike, no. We were still a year away, almost a year away from the WCW buyout. So she was about a year away from coming in, right around this point. She probably came in somewhere around that summer of 01, would be my guess. We Are Pro Wrestling would know the exact answer. Well, now we have to do our normal thing that we always do for pay-per-views. We have to count how many people we see on the show that are still currently active. There's one of them here in this match, kind of two. Matt Hardy for sure, possibly Jeff if he gets back in the ring. And Lita and Trish have both wrestled matches recently. The only one who is dead is Test. And I'm pretty sure, is Matt Bloom still a trainer and a coach for WWE, or has he moved on with life? Big tilt-a-whirl. The more Trish, the better. Okay, so he's still NXT head coach. Great. Thank you for that. You see so much footage of NXT, but I catch very few glimpses of him, so. Jesus. Look how young Jeff was, the way he flew over that top rope like that. Yeah, well, even without the DUIs, Jeff would probably be looking pretty old. I mean, Jeff's my age, plus he's wrestled that crazy style. He's not going to be as, I don't know, energetic and light on his feet and mobile as he used to be. As we look at Trish. Yeah, Trish is one. I mean, don't get me wrong. Trish is stupidly gorgeous here, but she is one of those women that just really, really got better with age. I mean, she looks amazing. She got every year. I always thought Trish looked better. No. Oh, okay. Kamari, don't be in here teasing us with good news. Misinformation. I'm reporting you for that, just so you know. Uh-oh, Hardy's double teaming on Big Albert. I like how the Hardys kind of match Albert. I never understood those, I don't know what they're called, but those type of jeans that were in during that time. Those big kind of baggy jeans with the multiple pockets and the very specific type of belt. Wow, big triple suplex from Team Extreme. I like that. I remember Hogan tried to wear those once on Nitro. I was fucking dying. Oh, thank you for doing that, Lita. And I was like, what is he doing? He's like it's like my grandpa coming out there trying to dress all cool. Jeff looks tiny next to Albert. My God. Yeah, maybe in the ring, I think Test was a better worker than Nash. I don't think that's that much of a hot take. But he just lacked the appeal that Nash had. But I always thought he was a more mobile version of Nash. He kind of reminded me of him because he had the long hair. He was tall, had the leather pants, could do the big boot. You know, he had tiny bit less size than Nash, but he made up for it in the added agility and the ability to do top rope shit and stuff like that. Yeah, I know he didn't die. I blocked that idiot. Ugh. Nice. Yeah, the WWE, it never felt like at this time, because I was watching and going to shows pretty frequently around this time, it never felt like they even once considered putting the tag belts on TNA. I don't think they ever held the belts. And back then, it felt like everybody kind of held the belts. So unless I'm forgetting a brief run that they had, it just never felt like they were even when they got title shots, I never thought they were going to win. One year prior to this, I was in the building for the Hardys winning their first tag team titles against the Acolytes on a show that actually was the build-up to that year's Fully Loaded. That was the same show that I think Vince proposed or challenged Austin to the winner-take-all match or whatever. There's that big elbow that Test does. He missed. I think there's an excellent chance Johnny Gargano comes back to WWE. Yes, I do. I think there's an excellent chance we see him tomorrow. with Raw being in Cleveland, and Tommaso Ciampa getting himself a U.S. title shot. Trifecta. Creating a trifecta of joint smoking power. Name the movie. Down goes Albert. Pump handle. He had a good pump handle, too. Terry Allen Jr., thanks for the $2. Update YouTube could help. How do I update YouTube? I'm working on a PC. I don't think you can update YouTube. I mean, if I had an app, if I was using my phone, you could, but I would never try to run my YouTube channel from my phone. That would be rough. There you go, James Weston. You know what I'm talking about. A trifecta. What? Fuck Jeff Goldblum, man. Big swinging DDT from Lita. Look at her go. Lita looks so young there. Wow. Good catch, Matt Bloom. Before the match, Lita's like, I'm going to take off my shirt and dive on you, and you're going to catch me. Okay, Albert? I can live with that. No problem. I suppose, if we must. Oh. She got a near fall on Tess, so this is so everybody. I thought the girls had to wrestle the girls. Jesus. Albert laid that into her. And then a power bomb. So we're just beating the shit out of the women here? That's what we're doing? Okay. I didn't know we were power bombing people. Yeah, I tuned Lawler out, Divine. What a fucking idiot. Lita did kick out. Yeah, gut wrench power bomb he hit her with. Big bull. That's a great bulldog by Trish. Fucking execution. We want puppies. God, Lawler. Lawler with his puppies and Austin with his whats. How can two of the biggest icons in the business be responsible for two of the worst fucking habits? Trish is bumping. She's been bumping the whole match. Or no, I'm sorry, Lita. Oh, my. Oh, my God. Big superplex. Wow. I mean, Lita might have had enough experience to pull something like that off with how traveled she was at this point. But, man, Trish taking a superplex less than a year in the business when you were a model a year ago is pretty incredible. That was look at this. Look how well they executed this. Perfect. If you're going to superplex school, that's how you do it. Actually, if you're going to superplex school, watch Bret Hart. But if you're going to women's wrestling superplex school, watch that one. Where's she going? Big moonsault to Trish. Oh, nailed it. Oh, and Albert's going to attack her? God, how could you even hit someone like Lita? Yeah, lots of guys had great superplexes. What I liked about Bret's is that they just felt so dramatic. I mean, Bret had great facials, Bret. You know, like you wouldn't think so, but the way he sells and the fucking face he makes, I mean, it's just like, they were just very dramatic superplexes. Vince always sold the shit out of them. I remember him doing it to Davey Boy where they're both bloody, you know, or at least Bret is, and just how awesome it looked. So the match here, or the match is over, but the attack is continuing with Trish and TNA attacking Team Extreme, and Trish is now whipping poor Lita with the belt. Poor Lita. Screaming, too. Where does one find a government mule? Is there just like government land and there's just mules running around? And why are we whipping them? And who the fuck would even eat a $2 steak? Maybe JR. Zach, good to see you, man. Appreciate the help earlier today, or I think you commented on when I was talking about my internet issues. Good to see you, man. Appreciate the $2 from you. Thanks for being here. Do I owe another super chat? Nope, I got Terry Allen. All right, we got everybody. Oh, wait, I missed one. Hollywood guy. Earlier. I am sorry, man. I think that was happening during the interruption, but I missed your $5 that you sent in earlier. You asked, I'm new here, but have listened to you before. Now I subbed, and what is your opinion on changing WWE? On Triple H changing WWE? Hollywood guy, we're in the middle of a watch-along. So I have a lot of opinions on that. My best advice, check out yesterday's podcast. I talked a lot about it. It's right there on the channel. Top of the page, you'll see it if you just shoot over there and watch yesterday's podcast. You'll hear all my thoughts on Triple H, Karrion Kross coming back, Bayley and Dakota Kai and Sasha and Naomi, and what Triple H is actually going to do, possibly separating out the belts, all that stuff. Okay, I remember this. So this is Edge telling Foley that Christian is violently ill. So I forget, is Christian a champion? He must be European champion or something. Oh, look at the door. That's the APA door. You've seen Kurt Angle? And he's right there. He happens to be right there with his medals and his gear on. Oh, that's great. Oh, he's going to chase him. Look at Angle. Undertaker just happens to have all this space to ride this thing. Kurt Angle couldn't have just gone in the men's room. Oh, wow. They got cameras ready. There was a fucking mattress laying up against the wall. Oh, no, that's just sound deadening shit. Look at Angle running. Hey, tell me, did I not nail Angle's gear on that thumbnail? That's the same shit he's wearing, too. That's awesome. Oh, Taz. Okay, so has Taz had the issue with JR and King yet? Because King would work Taz at SummerSlam. So is that issue already started, or does it start here soon? Taz. Think about how young Hook was back then. I mean, he's like 1 year old, less than 1 year old. Little tiny baby Hook. Infant Hook. Shit in his Pampers Hook. Okay, is this so when the Christian stuff resumes, is this going to be the one where he's over the toilet dumping shit into the toilet to make it sound like he puked? I remember that. I just never knew if it was on a pay-per-view or Raw or something. But K-Dog's Kennel. It's funny you should mention that. It's already in production. Shooting for Thanksgiving. But I haven't really said much about it yet. But it's going to be my finest work. But don't tell nobody. I'm not going to advertise nothing until I'm like halfway done with it. Al Snow and Taz. Interesting match. All right, we're 2 matches in. We got a couple of guys that are still somewhat active, and Matt and Jeff Hardy. Taz currently does commentary for AEW. Al Snow was spotted at Ric Flair's last match, and Matt Blooms is the head trainer in NXT. Trish and Lita are both immortalized as legends in WWE, and even both have had matches in the last couple of years. So far, it's been a pretty good crew of wrestlers with only one who is no longer with us, and that is Test. So, interesting. Yeah, I'm going to check out the Luger Drock tonight, Skull Vikings, those of you who are watching it right now. I'm sure it's pretty gnarly. There's a couple things I don't want to know and watch. I'm not looking forward to the Miss Elizabeth part if they get to that. So, yeah, this feels like, based on the commentary from JR and King, we haven't started the Taz and JR thing yet, right? Because at some point, Taz is getting in JR's face. I think that's on Raw. It might even be the very next night on Raw. And King, who has been previously heel all these years, stands up and actually defends JR and punches Taz. And kind of goes babyface. And it was weird to have King as a babyface. And we're just, 4 or 5 months away from King walking out and leaving WWE after they fired his girlfriend. Oh, shit, Divine. I got one from Victor Colon, too. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I missed it. Sorry. Thanks, dude. I would have gotten to that. I was just chatting. But appreciate the 5 again from you, Divine. Hey, Greg, who was your favorite tag team back in 2000? Yours was Edge and Christian. I'll probably say Edge and Christian, too, because they were great, and I saw them live in person so many times, and I had the benefit of flash photography back in those days, and I watched all of their segments and all of their matches. Like I said, I was at SummerSlam 2000 with the big triple threat, or the big 3-way TLC, which was nuts. I love the Dudleys. I love the Hardys, but I'd probably go Edge and Christian. Or Hardys, really. That's a toss-up. I know it's not the Outlaws, even though I like the Outlaws. I think my gut would be to go with the Hardys because they were more of a long-term team, plus they were both legitimately brothers. Plus, they grew up a hop, skip, and a jump away from where I grew up, and it was always nice to see them succeed and just see these little hillbillies make it, from North Kakalaki. I was always really, really proud of both of them. But I was maybe slightly more entertained by Edge and Christian, but more entertained in the ring by the Hardys. So let's change it, Divine. I'm not going to stick with you. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go Hardys, since we're narrowing it down to 1 year. And Hardys for sure. All right, Taz and Al Snow battering each other. Victor Cologne's chimed in with $5. Hey, Greg, how are you, and how is your cat? And what internet problems did you have today, as I missed them? The cat is great. I didn't really have internet problems. It's just the last 2 streams we've done have had a couple of really, really brief interruptions, and they've been not a big deal, but they really fuck up the flow, and it's annoying, especially when I have a great computer, and I've got great equipment, and I've got great internet. And today I hit up my internet provider and had them do a system reset and even upgrade some stuff to make sure we are maxed out with the absolute best shit we can have. And lo and behold, when we started the stream, we still had an interruption, but it was only 20 seconds long. So at this point, I don't think it's the internet. I think it has something to do with my streaming software and YouTube and something getting crossed there, but it hasn't even been a big deal. We haven't had a stream ruined or anything like that. But, I watch a lot of YouTube, and if I'm a viewer and I'm watching somebody stream and they keep fucking stopping, I'm going to watch something else. So I would like to stop that from happening. So I'm working on it. I'm probably a year away from actually buying a new computer, even though I don't really need one, but I'd rather not do that unless I had to. I already have 2 computers here, and they're both great, but I think at some point in the next year or so, I'm probably going to have to bite the bullet, buy a powerhouse, something that will just launch a fucking toaster into orbit if I wanted it to. Taz got it. Taz mission. You can't make it. Leave Cassidy? Oh, man. He's tapped out. Did we get a Tasmaniac and Al Snow match ever in ECW? Did they cross paths enough time there when Al Snow was there briefly? Well, he was there a couple times. So there was probably a match. There's probably an ECW match that exists between them. Yeah, K-Dog's Kennel, I've already kind of, a project that large, plus with a life that I have is, that's why I haven't said anything yet, because I'm like, that's going to take me 3 months to do, minimum. So I've been working on it. I mean, I just basically have the basic outline done, making a lot of notes, a lot of production notes, and a lot of other stuff, and putting it together. And I'm just going to, I haven't done a major project in a while, so I'm looking forward to it. Okay, here it is. Here's Edge being like, yo, Mick, look. Oh, he's claiming food poisoning. You wouldn't be walking around if you had food poisoning, dude. Look at Foley. Oh, that's right. They got to defend their titles. I'm thinking that Christian is like European champion or something. All he did was put the flashlight in his eyes. I don't think he can go. Oh. Oh, Foley's like, oh, yeah, I apologize. Well, Foley eventually busts him. We know that. Triple H and Stephanie. Look at these two. Look at Bruno. Yes, bringing flowers. Oh, yeah, Kurt Angle sending her the flowers, right? They're not from you? I was going to send you flowers. I just, I forgot. I was too busy feeding the homeless.
You don't know? Did you look? I mean, no, why would I look? To see if there's a card or something like that. I thought that you had done something sweet and sent me flowers. So why would I even look for a card? Maybe I would have wrote something mushy on there. You could have read. What does it say?
From Kurt Angle.
Stephanie, best of luck to you and your man tonight. It's true. It's true.
Now remember too, right around this time, and I was at SummerSlam 2000 the next month where Kurt Angle took that nasty spill. But then I'm pretty sure Angle and Triple H worked Unforgiven the following month, and that was like kind of Triple H's face turn. Remember, like he started turning face when he was feuding with Angle, and I felt like he was pretty much face going into Survivor Series, right? Or when Rikishi, oh yeah, when then Austin's about to come back, and then Rikishi reveals that he did it, but then it was a couple months after Triple H was the mastermind behind it. So Triple H had it mirrored what The Rock did in '98. It was like right after SummerSlam. Again, just like Triple H, right after SummerSlam. After SummerSlam, he lost that ladder match to Triple H for the IC title, and then he slowly started becoming a babyface just for 2 months before turning heel at Survivor Series. Triple H would do the same thing. He'd go babyface and then turn heel and against Austin. Look at Mamacita and Eddie. Look at how she dwarfs Eddie. I've heard Jericho and Chavo talk about how there's two Eddies, there's a big Eddie and a little Eddie. And they're sometimes when Eddie's jacked up and mad, he looks humongous. But then when he's normal Eddie, just backstage putting his shoes on, he's real small, and it's just funny how there's two Eddies, and he definitely looks like small Eddie here. Did you guys see the girl, the woman that cosplayed as Chyna? It was blowing up all over Twitter. I thought it was her. I thought it was Chyna. For a second, it was unbelievably close. She's not quite as big and have the crazy muscles as Chyna, but she had the outfit, the look, the hair, the face. My God, she looked exactly like her. Just look it up. Just search it on Twitter. I'm sure you can find it. Unreal. Oh, there's Terry. Oh my God. Why does she always do that stupid? Horny, does she do that just so Lawler can deliver the horny little she-devil line? Is that the whole purpose of this? Because that's a stupid purpose. Chyna grabbing Terry. Oh, God, Terry, you're fucked. Oh, wow, yeah, remember? That's how Chyna debuted. I didn't even think about that. She debuted by ragdolling poor Marlena, half the shit. Matt and Rob would like to say hi. Where's Terry? Terry's gone, Lawler. Perry Saturn. Perry Saturn will always be a legend to me because of that shoot interview he did with Sean Oliver where he described some of the nights out with Raven when they were working in WCW. And he said they got a slip and slide and connected the hose from the hotel bathroom to the slip and slide in the hallway, and then they put a dildo on Billy Kidman's head, and then they had a girl at the end of the slip and slide with her legs spread, and they slid Billy Kidman dildo first into her. And there's like several stories similar to that, and it's awesome. So if you ever want to listen to something really classy, you know, and you want to feel like an aristocrat, look up that Perry Saturn interview if you can find it and listen to some of them stories and tell me you ain't telling your friends at the bus stop the next day what you heard. It's great. I don't even know what that was that China hit Saturn with. I guess it was supposed to be a clothesline, but Saturn sold it, but China didn't really deliver it. I don't remember when the mop happened, but I think we're a year away from Moppy. Maybe less than a year. It might be soon. This is two members of the Radicals here who came. This is a very, very, what's going on here? Is Saturn hurt? This is extremely bad stuff so far. When you get on the wrong side of China. Yeah, Raven was about to debut, right? I think he turned up actually in that in the Taz Lawler match. Wow. Or maybe it was the Raven or the Rhino something else match. I forgot. I thought he interfered maybe when because Lawler beat Taz at SummerSlam, and I think maybe at Unforgiven, Taz beat him with help from Raven, maybe. Oh, Carmella got hurt over the weekend. Possible concussion. Best wishes to Carmella. Hope she's all right. Concussions are scary. Damn, Jack Doan with the fast count. Yo. Eddie is going to argue with that count that was super fast. Ooh, nice. Yeah, Eddie and China are two that are no longer here, so that brings the count so far, I believe, up to 3 with Eddie, China, and Test. Oh, nice. You were at Unforgiven 2000. That's cool. That was probably pretty badass because that was Austin's return. I remember watching it on pay-per-view that night and being, at first, a little bit disappointed, like you always are anytime you hear something that you're not used to. But when Austin came out, I'm pretty sure that was the debut of his Disturbed theme. And it didn't sound right to me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Where's the song? Where's Austin's song? But then once I got a good listen of the song, I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty good. And within a couple of weeks, it grew on me. But it didn't grow on me at first. I was like, I don't like this. But then I got it. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's actually quite awesome. It's quite an awesome theme. But I didn't love it at first. Actually, I got to think really hard. As many times as I've seen Austin wrestle, I've seen Austin win the WWE title twice. I have watched him battle The Rock more than once at house shows. I've been ringside. I've fucking slapped his hand. I've watched him work in the prime of his career up close. But I don't know if I've ever watched him wrestle or seen him come to the ring with the Disturbed theme, because it was a short window. Unless, no, you got it. The only one I could think of is, I don't think he was using it in 2001. I was at night after Survivor Series in 01. But I think he was back to his old theme by then. So that little window where he had it from 2000 to 2001 before he turned heel, and even used it some while he turned heel too before they changed it a couple times. I don't think I ever heard the Disturbed theme in person before. And you know what? I'm fine with that. I don't know what's that. I don't know if it's why this match feels off to me. Saturn with a moonsault. Saturn felt like he was gassed early because Eddie was really being soft on some of the shit he was laying into him, but just does not seem like they're on the same page here at all. It's hard. I can't ever think of a time where I sat here and complained about the ring work in an Eddie Guerrero match. I love how Eddie could roll through that top rope dive like that. He's so stupidly good. Oh, nice. Oh, nice, Juliet. You were at SmackDown prior to WrestleMania and got to hear us. I got to think, there might be a show that I'm missing that I forgot I went to, but as far as I know, I've never heard it in person. Was Eddie doing Three Amigos at this point? Mamacita back at it again. Oh! Saturn decked her and clotheslines her over the Spanish announce table, which just crumbles under the weight of China. That's hilarious. Oh, here comes Terry. Lawler's got to say that every time, doesn't he? I mean, Terry looks great and everything, but as a man, I don't know if I need them that big and rounded in your face, you know? Like, that's quite in your face. But Terry's the best. Oh, fucking back of the lower back. And that's it. And he gets the win. And he won the title. Well. New European champion, Saturn. Oh, yeah, Eddie and Shawn would have been great. Oh, I forgot. I was like, how did Eddie get beat? He got kicked in the balls. Big top rope Macho Man elbow to the lower back of Eddie, and that was the finish. Good night for the Radicals. You got a title change. Benoit is going to kind of win a title later. Oh. Oh, no, now he's sick again. Oh. I'm totally barfing in here. Ew. So totally busted. What is that bucket of shit that Christian even has in there? That, just looking at that makes me puke. I was really sick before.
Listen, guys, I'm not a medical doctor, although I have spent a lot of time in emergency rooms. But in my humble medical opinion, you guys are going to get your asses kicked tonight when you defend the tag team belts.
Who are they? Who are they defending it against? I don't even know. The Acolytes? Or the APA?
Christian, I'm interested in the Undertaker's medical opinion concerning Kurt Angle, because tonight the Olympic hero takes on the American badass.
Well, that's real cute. You want my medical opinion, huh? I'll tell you what my medical opinion is. Kurt Angle's going to be the doctor to surgically remove my foot from his ass. Watch out.
Oh no. Watch out, move. I have to look at the TV because Angle just happens to be... Look at that Sony. What is that, 19-inch? Uh-oh. Look at Angle. What is he going to do with this? Oh no. Why would you even get on that thing, Angle? You little bitch. Oh my God, Undertaker. Mr. Alpha Male. All right, so Edge and Christian have got to defend him. I was about to say, are they still coming through the crowd or something? The camera's going all over there. Oh, Kurt was the best in this time period. I loved him. Kind of like goofy, aw shucks type of guy. He's like right on the verge of winning the title. Yeah, Divine, I've watched all the Rivals so far. I've seen them all. Watched the Austin and Brock one and the Angle and Brock. I think another one too I've watched. So I think I'm all caught up with those and up to date.
Is Christian really is sick. See there? Sick and tired of being in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, aren't we all?
And what is up with Dallas's professional sports franchises?
Hmm.
I mean, the Dallas Stars proved that they are not repeat champions.
The Dallas Stars.
And the Dallas Cowboys proved they are repeat offenders.
Repeat offenders. I always remember the joke. If two cowboys are riding in a car together, who's driving? The police. Oh, you're going to talk JFK? Assassination? Okay.
Was it a lone gunman, or was it some sort of conspiracy?
I remember the first time I saw the JFK footage for the first time. Like, as clear as you could possibly see.
Still doesn't make a difference, because if JFK had spent 5 more minutes in Dallas,
It was traumatic.
committed suicide anyway.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Rough. For the benefit of those with flash photography. Okay, it is the APA. No wonder I'd be faking food poisoning too. I'd probably give myself legit food poisoning just not to have to get my ass kicked by Farouk. Farouk.
I want you two boys to hear this, because in just a second, my boot's going to be in your ear, and you won't be able to hear a damn thing.
My boot's gonna be in your ear.
Walk in these other towns and get your little cheap heat by making fun of the town. Well, now you come into the city that has 5 Super Bowl championships.
Bradshaw just gives Christian and Edge shit for getting cheap heat by insulting the local team. And then Bradshaw praises the home teams for cheap pops.
Major sporting championship there is, and you have the
Fuck Texas.
to poke fun at us. That's fine.
Okay, so make a note. Canada is only known for high-octane beer and Edge and Christian. Oh, my God. You're doing it worse than them. Edge and Christian delivered one line about sports teams. And JBL's monologuing it. The Freebirds, name-dropping motherfuckers, cheap pops. Oh, okay. They're personal bitches, huh? Well, Bradshaw, here's the thing. I was at SummerSlam the next month, and Edge and Christian were tag team champions. So that means you guys either win the titles here and lose them immediately, or you don't win the titles. Ugh, yeah, they'll probably get DQ'd. This is why Bradshaw is so mad, because they insulted the Stars and the Cowboys. You have to yell for 3.5 minutes about it. Seems unreasonable. Ugh, caught. Yeah, I know, Divine. That's why I can't believe they brought up the JFK assassination. I mean, even at this time, it was still many, many years past, but I don't know how it takes a long time to get over watching somebody's head get blown clean off their head, you know, or their body. So it's kind of like 9/11. It's something to always be fresh, you know. You'll remember the buildings crumbling, just like you remember JFK's head. What did they say that was so offensive? Lawler says the Freebirds was 100 years ago. At this point, it was more like 15. I always just hated how hard Jerry Lawler worked to get off jokes that sucked, you know? He would pause or deliberately not, like, interrupt JR from telling the story just so he can get this stupid bit out. And 9 times out of 10, it was so horrible. Like, I don't want to hear anybody make up this bullshit that they think exists in their head, that Aubrey Edwards takes attention away from the wrestlers. Just listen to Lawler at this time. Nothing's worse than this. And I like an animated referee. I used to be a big fan of Brian Hildebrand, and that guy went nuts in the ring. And he was beloved and respected by all members of the wrestling community. So in my mind, if you complain about Aubrey Edwards, you're shitting on Brian Hildebrand, because he did the exact same thing and nobody complained about him. So I think fans pick and choose what they want to be mad about based on the tribal war without really thinking about it. Oof. 2 guys with good hair here. Farouk's got the only boring haircut here. So I'm curious, now that we've gotten to several matches into this, is the 3 big matches all in a row? Is it like Taker, Angle, and Jericho, Triple H, and then Benoit and Rock? Hey, man. Yeah, for as little as Hildebrand was, he was fucking fearless. He had like an Earl Hebner level of fearlessness to him, and he didn't know his own size. But I used to love when he would do this thing sometimes where if guys are trading blows, he would be air punching in the corner. It's just fucking hilarious. I used to get such a kick out of it. So when I see what Aubrey does, and I'm like, that's nothing. If you complain about Aubrey, that means you are either, one, extremely tribal, and you just don't give a shit about logic, or you're just young, and you don't remember any wrestlers being, or any referees past 15 years ago. So it's got to be one of those two things. Oh. WWE fan, appreciate the $5. Brian worked a lot of indie stuff. He worked for Cornette and Smoky Mountain, and he was one of the referees in WCW, but he didn't go by Brian Hildebrand. WCW, he was... Oh, fuck. They changed a lot of guys' names. Not Mickey J. Mark Curtis. Mark Curtis is what he went by in WCW. Yes! DQ'd! And they keep the belts. But he tragically passed away many years ago of cancer, and I know they've ran tribute shows for Brian Hildebrand. A lot of wrestlers have donated money to his family and things like that. He was very loved. He was probably about the same size as Harvey Whippleman. About the same size. Same as guy's size. Tiny little fucker. A huge WWF logo in Times Square. The boss man is there. Are you old enough to drink in this bar? Boss man wants everybody's ID. You can't go in there and we'll ask for an ID. I say, fuck you, dude. Show me your ID, boss man. I want to know if your name's really the big boss man or not. He grabbed him by the throat and then drank his beer. Well, that's not the behavior of a security guard. Yeah, Angle's or Triple H is getting more pissed and more pissed.
No, let me see the card. No, it doesn't say Kurt Angle. What does it say right there?
It's true.
It's true. What little jerk says that?
What little jerk says that?
What's going on?
So this is before, I don't think Angle has kissed Stephanie yet, right?
You think it's Kurt and you're so upset about all of this? Why don't you go ask Kurt yourself?
I think that happens on the build to SummerSlam.
Question and answer might work things out.
Angle's got his own match, so he's got Triple H pissed off at him and the Undertaker chasing his ass. Look, there he is. Please, please, Undertaker. You can get a Coke while you're there. Grab a Coke. Nobody turns down a Coke. You could just get one of those and say, yo, take. Oh, wow, look at that. See how smart. Undertaker, from fucking alpha male, you're a fucking idiot. You didn't hear them gold medals clanging as the Angle's running behind you? Ah, oh, dang, he hit him with a wrench. Brilliant. Oh, Too Cool coming out. Alan Carter, I always love Brian Hildebrand's finger guns after calling a submission win in WCW. I know I've talked about this before, but one of the biggest things I've always been confused about WCW back in the day is after the finishes, why the refs always pointed to the hard cam. From what I understand, the ring bell wasn't there. I don't think it was next to the hard cam. I'm pretty sure the ring bell was at ringside, where it is in every wrestling promotion. And generally when there's a finish, you know, you point to the timekeeper to ring the bell, but instead they like point to the camera. And I always thought that was weird. That seemed like something that WWE would do, where Vince is like, no, you got to point to the camera, let the fans know that the match is over. And you would be like, that's really stupid. You don't need to do that. Oh, yes, we do. It just seems like a Vince thing. But it was something you saw in WCW, and it was always just odd to me. All the refs did it, and obviously it was just what they did there. but I never really understood why they did that there. I guess it's just for the TV audience, but when I think Brett, when Brett showed up and he was the ref for Sting and Hogan, when that finish happened, Brett pointed right to the corner. He didn't point to the hard cam. He pointed right there to ring the bell. So I never knew, or why, if I've never even heard on a podcast, I've never heard any story as to why that was what they did and why they chose to do that. It's always been odd to me. Oh yeah, Val cut his hair. I forgot. Oh, I forgot about this match. Is this where Rikishi dives off? That's right. Rikishi takes quite the bump here, I think. He didn't do it for The Rock yet. Oh, Trish is back. I forgot she's with Val. And he's Intercontinental Champion. He's a fucking nut. Throw him in the pot with Jackson Riker and any other fucking crackhead that says and believes the most absurd shit. Just waiting for one of these motherfuckers to be like, the Earth is triangle. I can prove it. Off Leather Wings, thanks for the $2. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't have him compartmentalized in my brain that way. I have other referees. If I really thought about it, I could probably think of my favorite Earl match or something, but no other referees, really. I couldn't tell you my favorite Nick Patrick match or Jack Doan match or Mike Chioda match. I don't have that sectioned off as much. I'd have to look at his, because, a lot of times I don't think about the refs in a lot of these matches. You really shouldn't for the most part, but I don't think it's bad to notice the ref in a match. I don't think that's violating any rules. And if it does, it's the fans' own stupid-ass rules in their head. And look at here. We got Teddy Long as a referee for this thing. One of my good buddies who I still in contact with to this day, Daniel. He might be watching right now. He's a referee. He wrestles on the indie level and works with all sorts of people. He might have an opinion on this. But I certainly don't think that as a referee you might not want to go so far out of your way to take attention off. But if you have a referee that has different maybe style than the others, I don't think that's bad. This is all a performance. So if you got a referee that's diving over people to make 3 counts, I don't see, as a wrestling fan of 40 years, how that's harming anybody. So I think the people that think this are just a little bit too motivated by their own tribal shit. The last thing any fan should worry about is a referee's mannerisms in the ring. Should not be your concern. Is he going up there already? No way. Okay, I was about to say, he's getting down. Oh, yeah, smart. Val was heading out the door. You better grab him, Rikishi. Oh, watch your butt, Lawler says. Divine Ricks, I got $2 from you. Hey, Greg, have you ever been to WWF New York? No, I never did go. Thought about it, kind of wanted to. I've only been to New York City like one time ever. So I lived on the East Coast for so long. I've been to Philly, I've been to Boston, I've been to Detroit, I've been to New York, I've been down in Florida, I've been everywhere, but I'm not very New York savvy. Well, I lived in North Carolina. So many people that I worked with would move to New York. It was very, very much like what they wanted to do, go to New York and live in the city and all that shit. And it was just never a dream of mine. I was like, I want to move to the beach. I ain't going anywhere cold. I don't want to live around concrete surrounding me everywhere I look. I was like, I want fresh air, blue skies, and some water and some warm weather. You give me that, I kind of don't care what state I'm in. So wait a minute. Val does the match that I remember, Rikishi diving off the top of the cage. I thought Val Venis had long hair in that. So did that already happen? Because Val Venis, I do know, goes into SummerSlam as Intercontinental Champion, because I remember that whole deal with Eddie in China. So that makes me think that Rikishi must not win the title here. So what's that top of the cage splash I'm remembering? What show was that? Oh, Val won't even do it. Oh, I think he low blowed him. I was about to say Val is refusing to take the stink face. Mike Witt, favorite Danny Davis match, WrestleMania 3, when he got the shit kicked out of him by Tito and the Bulldogs. The favorite match he reffed? You know what? I might have an answer to this. I think he might have reffed, although I'm not positive. I got to check on that and see if I'm right. I think he might have refereed Brett and 1-2-3 Kid on Raw. Full match. See, where's the referee there? Can I see him, or is that Earl? Nope, it's Earl. Never mind. Okay, so I'm wrong on that one. I don't know. Probably the one he got his ass kicked in then, because he wrestled in that. Yeah, I'm trying to think when that Rikishi dive is. I thought it was on to Val, and I thought it was in a cage match. So is this a rematch cage match? Where's We Are Pro Wrestling to straighten this out? My memory is remembering Rikishi landing on Val Venis with long hair. But that could also be, I could be Mandela and affecting myself. So I'm not sure. I thought it was this match too, so we might find out. It's fun to watch a pay-per-view that is so old that, and I don't know what I'm going to see. It's kind of fun. When Val springboarded off the top rope, Lawler goes boing. I hate him. I hate him. Fucking hate him. Brian Hipp, good to see you, man. Appreciate the 5. Will there be a SummerSlam 91 watch along? I thought I remember hearing there might be. Love the content. Yes, SummerSlam 91 is on the list as well. We could maybe even bust that one out the following Sunday because we've got some time before we get to Castlevania and All Out. Let's look at the calendar. I don't see any reason why I can't make that happen on the 21st. But that's 90 and 91 in a row. I do want to do 91. But yeah, we can do it in August, and then in September we'll start doing some Unforgivens or something. Okay, so Val's going up top now. He's almost up there. Oh, Big Dub, I just looked up the Bret Hart 1-2-3 Kid match and looked at the ref that was in the ring, and it was Earl. Just looked up the match on YouTube, and you know how if you put your cursor on the video, if it's in the feed, it'll start playing it? And I just waited a few seconds, and Earl just walked right across. I'm like, there he is. So that's how I just found out that information. Pulling back the curtain. Divulging my secrets. Survivor Series 87. Whew. Could maybe watch that one. That was a gnarly day for old mic work. One of the worst days of my life. Survivor Series 1987. Horrific bike accident. Smashed my face to hell. Knocked teeth out. Spent the whole night in the emergency room. Had to show back up to school with a pretty mangled looking grill. In the 5th grade. When I was brand new in town. Rough. It's a true underdog story. The fact that I actually grew up pretty well adjusted and had friends in school and, wasn't bullied my whole life is pretty incredible. And I ruined Thanksgiving dinner. Because we were in the hospital all night. I feel like Trish, no, I was about to say, is Trish going to do the door slamming thing? Val is, yeah, I can't, Val, that looks like he busted open hard way. Is that on his eye? I didn't catch where that happened or where he got caught. Yeah, it was a pretty gnarly accident. My cousins, who are both about my age, they live in Philadelphia, and they came down for Thanksgiving. And we lived in a nice subdivision, a neighborhood with a bunch of houses. All the kids I went to school with lived in the same neighborhood. We had like a community pool, and and you could ride in a park and all that shit. And you could just ride your bikes around the neighborhood streets because they weren't like highways. There was, cars driving, but they were very slow, and you were never in any traffic danger in the neighborhood. You can just ride around freely. So we were riding our bikes, but I had cousins there, so they needed bikes. Big Rikishi bomb. Nope. Oh, Val got the foot on the ropes. So we were going to ride our bikes down to the park, and so I let my cousin ride my bike. And I'm like, I'll ride my mom's bike. You can ride mine. I don't give a shit. But I hadn't really had any experience with a bike with handbrakes yet. Oh, there goes Trish doing the thing. So we're riding the bikes. We're going down the hill, and a car is coming. It's a pretty steep hill, and I see a car coming. And I'm only 10, so I kind of panic, and I just start squeezing the handle brakes. Of course, I squeeze the front ones. Pew! Torpedo my body right over the handlebars. The very first thing that hit the pavement were my 2 front teeth. Smashed my mouth to shit, rolled, hit the car, and bounced back up like instantly. And just my cousin, I don't remember any of this. My cousin said I just bounced up immediately and ran. He said he's never seen anybody run faster in his life. And I just ran straight home with my hand on my mouth. And I remember the only visual I have, memory I have, is me grabbing the doorknob and blood getting all over the doorknob and like running in the house and my parents freaking out. There it is. Rikishi kicked out. It was so gnarly, and they drove me to the fucking hospital. Oh my God. So yeah, these teeth are, they ain't real. It was rough. Luckily, it was 35 years ago, so I'm kind of over it now. Here comes Lita. Payback time. She's got the belt. And I like that Lita did not change. She just stayed in her shit. Oh, no. Whipping her. A good JR and that government mule line. Does he still say that shit on Dynamite? I think he does. Lita slapping referees. God, how hot is Lita? Look at Trish crawling away. Well, that's good. I'm glad that spilled over into this match. Now we can figure out what the hell the finish of this match is going to be. He's Trishless. Oh my. That might have been an intentional ref bump, but I think he bumped too hard. He landed right on top of Teddy. Ouch. Okay, so this must be the Rikishi spot. Okay, so I don't know why I'm remembering Val with long hair. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is definitely it. Is there a sign that says gonads on it? Just that's it. Gonads. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I kind of like how he just sidesteps his way over there to the middle. I mean, you already got to concentrate on balancing. You got 20,000 people screaming at you. Flash bulbs going off. Live pay-per-view. No pressure, Rikishi. Oh, my God. Like, imagine if he, like, kind of started falling backwards. Oh, my God. What a good king. God. Oh. Okay, so that must be how Val escapes with his title, because I just figured if Rikishi's going to do that spot, that would be the finish, but we got a ref bump. Hey, buddy. You can say hi to the streamers in a minute, but imagine taking that bump, like being on the receiving end of that. Like, you have to trust that he's going to come down and not land his knee on your head or your face or mistime it, or that would be even worse. I don't know if I could have succeeded as a wrestler if I had to just lay there and know some huge man's going to land on me. And, oh, there's Taz. Okay, so he's the... Hits Rikishi with the camera. And Taz is all tangled. He is all tangled in the wires. Please put the camera back on him. He still can't get out. He's still tangled. I wish he would have fallen. JR on Dynamite. Hey, Taz, you remember that time you... Shut up, JR. It never happened. You don't know what you're talking about. You're misremembering. What happened was a fan dropped a sign. I was just making sure I didn't step on it. And there it is. Teddy Long, you should know better. As long as you've been around. And Val with his dumb new music. I would be worried. Michael, I'd be worried about my chest too. I'd be worried about a lot of stuff. I'd be worried about my face, you know, just... Yeah, $50,000 camera. That's probably an old one. That's gimmicked. Or it's probably not gimmicked, but it's probably an old camera, not in use. Yeah, Andy, Unforgiven. Well, Unforgiven 98 we just did. I did Unforgiven 98 back in April because I was at that show in Greensboro. I have not done Unforgiven 99, though, but I was at that show, too. Or maybe we did do Unforgiven. I might have already done both of those, Andy. I actually think we have. I got to check the playlist, but I know we did 98, and hell, 98, 99 might have gotten done as well. Maybe not, though. But yeah, I got to see the Kennel from Hell in person. And fucking Val retains his IC title. You got Benoit and Angle and Jericho all in the company right now, and the IC title's on this fool. I always liked how JR called him Rikishi. Get Rikishi out of the ring. Oh, no, now he calls him Rikishi. Unforgiven 2000. Yeah, that's just 1 month after this, though. So, yeah, we could do that in September. And we did one Unforgiven 2001 when Angle won the title last year, I think. So, Brian does a great Taz impression. That's cool. I can't really do... I can kind of do impressions, sort of. Some I'm good at. But I can't do them for very long. I can start out good, and then it just morphs into something else. I can start out as Taz, and then I'll end it being French. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I can kind of do, like, the Arnold noises, like, dude, you know, but I can't, like, I can't say any words. So I can't do anything really good. There's Undertaker. So now Undertaker's at a disadvantage with the bum leg. Triple H is after Angle's ass, too. Triple H. Have you seen Angle?
Let me guess, more flowers for Stephanie? That's right.
More flowers for Stephanie.
Now here, tell me where he is. Now here, I'll show you. Take me to him.
Now, were these flowers really from Angle, or was somebody... Was like Jericho doing it as a way to... Oh, no. Oh, maybe it's The Rock. It's probably The Rock. It's got to be Rocky. Oh, no, it is Jericho. Yeah. Yeah, it is Jericho. All right. I was about to say, I thought they were all just going to start feuding. Nice. So Jericho has gotten to Triple H, and Angle has gotten to Undertaker. So does that mean Benoit gets to Rock? Okay, WWE fan, thanks for the $2. Southern mic work is the one I can do well, because I think anybody can do an impression if you're around it your whole life. So like I was around Southern people like a lot, so I can just talk like a Southern person and never stop if I don't want to stop. But I do want to stop because I hate the sound of it. But but that's one that I can actually nail. But any other thing I can't. I'm not very good. I should go to impression school. Yeah, why is Shane even here?
People here in Dallas are really glad to see him. Oh, you think so?
Why is he wearing a Just Bring It shirt?
Surprise, surprise.
How common were those fucking pants in 2000? I still wear my like Adidas pants that look just like that. I got a black pair or a blue pair with a line down the front, and they're very comfortable. I fucking hate jeans. I don't want to wear them unless I have to. And in the summertime, I'll rock shorts, and then anytime I'm just like casual, I wear that shit. Say pussy? Oh, that's right. Shane's managing Benoit. That's why he's wearing the shirt. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder, Juliet. Okay, so like I said a minute ago, Angle got to Taker, Jericho got to Triple H. They're going to what? Call out Rock here, and then Benoit's going to attack Rock? And all three young guys have gotten the advantage on their veteran opponents, but they all still lose? That's crazy. I'm going to go grab another green Stella. Oh, no. Experience the killer, the giant killer. Okay, does Rock really come out and fall for this bullshit? Like, if Rock comes out to the entrance there and then Benoit ambushes him, Rock's a fool. Oh, here he comes. If you smell. Yeah, I'm happy to say that I've now regained the sense of my smell after COVID a couple months ago. Because when I had COVID and Rock was like, if you smell, and I'm like, I don't. Okay, look, they already got the stairs out of the way. So what does that tell you? It's for Undertaker's motorbike. So Undertaker and Angle has got to be next, because them stairs are propped on the side. All right, so Rock came out. He has not been ambushed yet, but I feel like that's what this is setting up. We are 1 hour and 22 minutes into the show. Yeah, in 2000, it was Shane's a pussy. In 2022, it's Miz has tiny balls.
20,000 Rock fans can't be wrong. You are indeed, without a shadow of a doubt,
A pussy. You are, without a shadow of a doubt, a pussy. I really hope, I mean, I know it's not the most polite word to say, but I really hope pussy doesn't get canceled because it's too good of a word. It's hilarious. As long as you don't mean it, I don't ever mean it as what it is. I like it, just the word is an insult. It's funny.
Fact of the matter is, it just doesn't matter to The Rock. Because just as The Rock stands before you today, we don't have to wait till later. We do it now.
We do it now, says The Rock. Rock, you are dumb. They are totally sucking you in. Maybe Rock knows this, and he's got plan B up his sleeve.
You wouldn't be stupid enough to get yourself disqualified tonight. But don't you worry about losing your title that way. Because I'm either going to make you tap out and cry like a baby, or beat you 1, 2, 3 to become the next WWF champion. And that's just the way it is.
And that's just the way it is.
I'm going to strip you of your title tonight. Well, I thought I'd
It's a spooky camera angle on Benoit.
keep clothing as well.
Oh, he's ripping up his shit. Okay, this whole segment was just for... So Benoit could tear up his clothes? Well, this is just going to This isn't going to get you a physical advantage. This is going to make Rock mad. What's that? Motor oil? This is $500 shirts. There's 500, 10, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. Those pants are probably 300, 2,800, 3,100. Fuck, 3,100 we're up to now. One shirt remained. Phew, it was almost 3,600. He only lost $3,100 on that. Phew, could have been worse. Okay, yep. Angle and Taker are up next, as indicated by the sideways ring steps. I've got milk on your motorbike. Is that what he said? I love the way he called it a motorbike. Sleek scooter. Oh, that's a not bad scooter. I've worked with people who have had like DUIs who have had to drive those fucking scooters to work. It's pretty funny. They wear a little helmet. They look just like Kurt Angle. I'm really sorry about that. I've been afraid of a man who rides a bicycle. Wow. I've never understood. Damn, look at it steaming. That looks like they really might have ruined that motorcycle. Well, maybe not really. I'm sure it could handle some soup poured on it. Damn, that is a big wrench made out of tinfoil. Your very own. Your very own. I'm not just loaning this to you. This belongs to you now. It's a sleek scooter. Lucky Taker, having a friend like Kurt. Taker's a fool for not accepting Angle's gifts and appreciation. At least Kurt brought his wrench with him. I like how he's scared of the pyro. Like, you got to remember, Kurt's less than a year into his career here. And they're like, when they instruct him, hey, go out there and act scared when the pyro comes on. He looks like he's not even acting. He's like legit scared. Now, here comes Taker. He's here already. No entrance for Undertaker. That's a shame. We're not going to be able to hear Kid Rock. I used to have that Jericho shirt. As a matter of fact, I still have that Jericho shirt. It's in my shit somewhere. Jerichoholic stuff on the back. Oh, yeah, it's one of those deals where the match hasn't started, so Kurt's just going to get his ass kicked. Bub's laying next to me here. If you want to say hi, you're allowed to, buddy. Man, I liked the match that they did. It would have been just a few months after this, right? At Survivor Series, Angle and Taker, and it was when Angle was champ, and Taker was wearing those ugly ass pants. But I was fooled by the finish, just like the referee was when they switched out Kurt for Eric. I didn't notice it was somebody different until Taker, or the referee noticed it or whatever, and they're like, what the fuck's going on? And then when Angle came in from the other side, you're like, holy shit, it's like the doink thing. Like, I was so happy that I didn't recognize right away what happened. I didn't recognize. I'm like, oh, that's a body double. Like, you know. Oh, okay. Taker's just going to torture poor Kurt. It's an Olympic gold medal winner. Mean Mark. You better watch yourself. I thought Taker had to wear Godfather's gear because he was wearing these really weird looking pants. I thought he said it was Godfather's pants. But I had no idea what the fuck was going on. It didn't occur to me at all that he had lost or forgot his gear and this is something makeshift. I thought he purposely wore that. And me and my buddies who were watching it that night, we were laughing. We were like, what the fuck is he wearing? What is he thinking? We thought it was all on purpose. And I didn't even know until years and years and years and years later that what the story behind that was. I mean, many years until I was full an adult now. Well, I guess I was back then too, but I always thought he purposely meant to wear that. Undertaker's quite heavy here. He would be so slim in some of those later years. Like the 2007, 8, 9, 10 years, like those years. He was in really good shape. Doesn't even seem like the same guy when you see him here. Nice. Yeah, and the way the pants were, you can easily picture Godfather in those, along with one of his airbrushed vests and his hat and his hose. Test never really wore anything like that, I don't think. Yes, Zach, I will be in LA for Mania next year, excuse me. Absolutely. I'm going to wait on the tickets. They go on sale, but I don't go to a ton of shows these days, and I know it sucks to pay like crazy prices, but I think I might just wait until next year and pick up some tickets, or that way I can kind of pick and choose where I want to sit. Because I just don't like getting it from the ticket places because you just have to get whatever they give you. And I'd rather to me it's worth paying a little more to pick where you want to be. I bought tickets that way for Double or Nothing, and I didn't like them. I just, on the on-sale date, I just kind of waited in the queue and then just bought what they gave me, but they sucked. So I gave them away. Cassidy Haynes from bodyslam.net took them and did a giveaway for them. And we were able to give them to somebody, which was awesome. But once I got the tickets, I'm like, I don't really like these seats. I'm making the trip up there. I want to enjoy the show. So I went over to StubHub and gave them some money and, and a kidney and a piece of my liver and all the other shit they need to get tickets for where you want to sit. But bit the bullet and did it and had a great experience. Angle fighting back after that ass kicking he took. Oh, my God. I'm curious because I don't remember what happens here. I mean, I know the outcome of this match, but I'm curious how Angle gets the title shot at SummerSlam. I don't really remember if he wins something to get that opportunity or if he wins a contenders match or what, but it would wind up being Rock, Triple H, Angle at SummerSlam. But why wasn't it Rock, Triple H, Taker? If you look at the 3 victories that happened here. Mike Witt, if some asshole broke into my house and poured motor oil all over my shirts, do you have any idea how pissed I would be? I would be out $68. And that's unforgivable. I would hunt that motherfucker down and pull that $68 out of his dirty asshole. And then show it to him before he died. So I'm taking my money back. If you throw in my socks, you could probably get $75 out of what's in there. At best. So, yeah. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Fox Star Killer. Kurt and Hunter double pin Jericho in a triple threat #1 contender match on Raw. Kurt and Hunter double pin. Okay. Okay. Okay, so the three of them were in a triple threat. Winner supposedly facing Rock. And Jericho had to eat the double pin. That's hilarious. I do wonder at the time what made them pick Angle over Jericho or over Benoit in that regard. Because Benoit would wind up getting another shot at Unforgiven, right? So why wasn't it Rock, Triple H, and Angle? Why, or Rock, Triple H, Benoit? Or why wasn't it Rock, Triple H, Jericho? So I wonder what the decision-making process was there. Maybe they wanted to really give Kurt a legit shot. He's impressing the hell out of them. Like, let's stick him in the main event. You don't have to win, but being in the main event, see how he handles an event that size and a main event that caliber with 2 stars the caliber of Rock and Triple H. Pure evil intentions. Here comes the last ride. Is Angle going to power out of this, or he's just going to go down? Looks like he's going down. Boom. God, he even takes it well, doesn't he, Kurt? He bumps well. And that is curtains for old Angle. Curtains for Kurt. Oh, my God, they dubbed over, and they're playing that. They dubbed over the Kid Rock version. That's fine. As bad as Kid Rock sucks, I think this theme might suck even worse, though. The end is now. Ugh. That's such a terrible song. You're gonna pay. Ugh. WWE had some great themes, and my God, they had some puke-inducing ones, too. Like, back then, was Taker really listening to this and be like, yeah, this slaps? I hope not, because it does not. Good last ride, though. Nailed Angle with it. Angle took it marvelously. I mean, Undertaker probably went back to Gorilla and be like, yeah, that kid's pretty good. If you don't have anything long-term on his contract, you might want to get on that. My God, $3,100 just strewn about. I'd be pissed too, Rock. That fucking rabid Wolverine. That's why you gotta have a lock on your shit, man. Not only do you not have a lock, you don't have a door, and your fucking name is on it. I'd keep all my shit in a bag and hide it somewhere where nobody could mess with it. This is the era where they crap in your luggage. Oh yeah, Jericho's sexual assault of Stephanie. I forgot about that. Everybody Triple H feuded with, it was all over Stephanie. Angle, Stephanie always, and Jericho always had that chemistry. Vince and Triple H feuded over Stephanie. Randy Orton and Triple H feuded over Stephanie. I don't remember the exact date that Taker transitioned from shitty Kid Rock to shitty Limp Bizkit. I don't remember. I imagine he was sitting there saying, well, how can I get any lamer? Let's call Limp Bizkit. Hey, bud. God, look how bloody Jericho is. Jesus Christ. Jericho finally hitting his stride. I mean, he had a kind of a choppy beginning after that legendary and epic debut. He didn't do very much for a while, and then they did that deal where he won the title for a second on Raw. That was awesome. Oh, Armageddon. Okay. I had forgotten I just said that. I'm like, why are they mentioning Armageddon? It's because I just asked when Undertaker made the music change. Okay. I think I'll celebrate by just tossing my BSK friend off the top of the cell. No big thing. No big thing. What an era this was. These two. This is my favorite Triple H theme. I don't even like the screaming heavy metal, but there was something about this that just fit him. Is it the same ones that did DX? That did My Time? I liked it. I like this theme a lot for Triple H. I mean, I loved the Motorhead themes, both of them. The one he would use primarily, I did really, really like, and it really, really did grow on me. But there was something about this time period, Triple H, that I really miss. Like he still retained. It wouldn't be as bad as it would become with the type of heat he had with the audience, from what I remember at this time, because of his relationship with Stephanie, and most people kind of knew there was something up there, but it hadn't even really started yet with him having kind of that type of heat. You know, he'd previously had it with the Clique, but any like opinions that any, you know, smart wrestling fan would have about Triple H at this time that were unsavory, you know, they couldn't really say anything too bad about him because he was doing such good work at this point, and how much he had changed in 2 years. It was hard to deny that he was one of the best they had. Chris Jericho. And I remember at the time being, you know, a subscriber of the Sheets and, you know, a hotline caller, hearing about the heat that Jericho had, perhaps with Triple H, because he maybe had a little bit of heat with Kevin Nash and WCW, and they kind of buried him to Triple H before he got there and shit like that. Some sort of story like that I remember reading. But then here they are working together. Seems like any heat that was there seems to be under the bridge now. So these guys, this is a pretty good match to have, considering where this feud has been going. It's been pretty brutal. There's been a lot of merciless attacks. He came up, he called himself the Game in that promo with JR. I don't think it was intended to be a catchphrase until, like, they just kind of watched it back and it sounded pretty good. Because he said something to the effect of, like, there goes that typical Jericho dropkick springboard. Said something to the effect of, they call me a student of the Game, or I am the fucking Game, or something like that. And then after that, he kind of became the Game. It was basically his Austin 316 moment. Not nearly as dramatic or memorable, but basically the Austin 316 thing became a thing largely the same way the Game became a thing for Triple H. Just happened in a promo. It is kind of a weird nickname. I never really got it. I'm like, the game? What game? Like, Shoots and Ladders? Like, if somebody just, like, I don't know, the game just doesn't sound like an intimidating nickname. Oh, you better watch out. The game's coming after you. I'm like, oh, really? The game? Okay. Is the dishwasher coming? Should I be worried about the dishwasher? Man, I forget who bleeds here. They probably both do. I kind of half-assed remember the finish here, I think. This is the second last man standing match in WWE history. Interesting. What year are we at here? 2000? Well, when the fuck was the first? Let me see if I can think of it without you telling me. Or maybe it was, it wasn't Vince and Triple H, was it? You're going to have to tell me because now I don't know. Look at that camera that girl's got. Everybody had those. Well, there might be, so Triple H, the whole, during the feud, he's been really attacking Jericho in his ribs. So this might be an internal bleeding thing. Jericho will blood capsule himself. And then JR will be like, oh man, King, he might have internal bleeding, King. Referee should consider stopping this match. Stay down, Jericho. Stay down. For the love of God. That kind of thing. Yeah, I know it is another word for the business, but I still don't find it intimidating. Yeah, we just watched the Hell in the Cell match, right? We did not actually mention, I believe it was Timmy White and the referee in that last match that I don't think we mentioned. But yeah, we did watch that show, didn't we? Smart on Jericho sending those flowers. Got all kinds of heat on Kurt Angle. Got Triple H all fired up about him. Jericho was probably like, what's the worst that can happen? I want him to find me so I can attack him, but if he doesn't find me, he might find Angle instead and just beat the shit out of him for fun. So it's basically a win-win if you're Jericho. Smart babyface. Oh, thank you. Rockin' Mankind. Why did I think that was a ladder match? A trash bag and bottom feeding. Oh, I think I know. I think The Rock won the title back on Raw or something. Oh, was the St. Valentine's Day Massacre match where there was like the double count, neither man answered the count? Is that what happened? And then they did like a match on Raw where Big Show helped Rock win the title back. I think that's what happened. So I never knew or had forgotten that was a last man standing match. That's really cool. I remember it now, but how's our timer doing? We're still matched up, right? Yeah, we're all good. Stephanie's slapping around. Oh, suplex on the floor. I mean, it's still relatively early in the match. They still got a brawl to the staging, I'm sure. Probably go over the barricade at least once. At least one of these tables or both will break. Did they put it back together after China broke it? Hey, buddy. Are you questioning the game? Thank you, Fox Star Killer. Yeah, I thought so. Hey, bub, you're kind of on camera. Do you want to say hi to everybody? You just want to stand over there. Stand over there is fine. Just don't move the mic. He's rubbing his face on the boom arm. Stop. All right. Oh, no, smart by Triple H. We got an abdominal stretch on Jericho's already severely busted up midsection. What's up, bud? Come here. Ugh, come here. I'll try to get him in here if I can. There you go. Say hi to folks. There you go. Old man. Old man. He's a little tired today. You all right? I'll let him go. Let him go. Let's go this way. Good job. Fucking Kyoto. I don't know how many times Triple H has grabbed this damn rope. Oh. Kalen Scott, Bad Blood 97 watch along. I didn't totally love that pay-per-view, to be honest. I loved the Shawn and Undertaker match. But that's a bad memory day, man. That's the day we lost Brian Pillman. Brett was on his way out. The undercard, I think, was shit from what I remember. And it was only 2 hours long. Oof. It's kind of the same reason why I've been putting off doing Canadian Stampede. It's a great show, but it's a one-match card, you know? Oh, it's all about that 10-man tag. And plus, it was only a 2-hour show back then in the In Your House days. Hadn't gone to 3 hours yet. Oh, wait, 97, though. Bad Blood might have been 3 hours. I'm sorry. It actually was. Because Ground Zero was 3 hours. So I stand corrected. But still not sure if it's a show. I guess it's one we could do one day. Just a bad time. It was only up to 4. Sleeper. Yeah, if I'm in a last man standing match, those are the type of moves I'm going for. I'm going for sleepers. I'm going for chokes. God, Lawler. I'd stick some, like, chloroform under the ring and then wait for a ref bump and then just knock his ass out with that. And then when the referee comes to, just be like, count him. Yeah, Ground Zero was the first 3-hour pay-per-view. I remember because they promoted the shit out of it, and Bad Blood was after that. So that would have been a 3-hour show. But, and they had a great house that night. Sold out. They honored a bunch of NWA legends and shit. They did a bunch of good stuff. But there was just a vibe. There was a cloud hanging over the whole thing because of Brian Pillman. Stay down. There he is, Jared. Stay down. I mean, Jericho hasn't even made his comeback yet, so we got a ways to go. Jericho taunting him, too. So they have not fixed the announce table because I just saw Carlos and Hugo just chilling. Pedigree. Wow, and a good one, too. Jesus. And he's pointing to him. Stay down, you bitch. I don't know. A real fight between Jericho and Triple H would be pretty interesting, I think. We always heard the great story about how Jericho took down Goldberg. He's got in the face of Brock before. I don't think he'd be intimidated by Triple H. So I'm curious how that would go. Like during this time, or maybe a couple years after this. If they, like, in 2004, if Triple H and Jericho scrapped, who would win in a backstage fight? Stay down, Chris. Stay down. Oh, Triple H is real mad now. I'm going to go get this chair. Yeah, it's not a legal referee. I don't know what you're talking. Oh, right to the ribs. Smart. Oh, God. I'm sure Triple H was not taking it easy on Jericho during this time. Yeah, you're right, Juliet. You have to know, you show me where it says no chloroform in the rules. Oh, big low blow by Jericho. Totally legal. No big deal. It's a last man standing match. Doesn't mean I can't make sure that Stephanie doesn't have any fun for the next foreseeable future. I'll just smash your nards to hell. Ugh. What a chair shot to Triple H. Jesus. I don't know if it was between his eyes, but it was all over his head. Oh, God. That's a lot. Oh, my Jesus. That's some serious, serious blading right there. I mean, when Jericho and Triple H are going through the match, Hunter's like, how bad do you think I should bleed? And Jericho's like, show us your brain. Oh, wow. He's covered in blood already. Wow. Ugh. As a legendary legendary wrestling announcer, Jordan Foley used to say, he's a maroon veil. Great comeback. I've been waiting for Jericho's comeback because I knew it was going to be good. And Triple H just started by just blading crazy hard. Another signature Jericho move, and he nailed Triple H's face right on the chair with it. I do think WWE will show us a pinch of blood here and there with Triple H. I don't think it's going to be to AEW's level, but I think Triple H should bust it out on occasion. And I think he will, as long as he's not unable to because of the TV deal or something. But I'm sure things can be worked out. You can say shit now on cable TV. I don't think it would scar anybody for life if they saw a little bit of blood in pro wrestling. It would be okay. Oh. Damn. So that bump that Jericho just took, Nikki Bella was describing her injury on that Bella's doc, and she said that's exactly how she got injured, because the stairs were anchored, and usually when you do a stairs bump, they break away, but they had anchored hers down for some reason because of pyro that was going to go off, and she just hit at full speed and fucked her shoulder up. Jericho, basically did the same thing there. And that backdrop with the extra height standing on the steps. Oh, Lord. Double monitor shot. They were still using those. Well, I guess, yeah, it's only 2000, so they're not that out of date yet. They'd probably keep those for a few more years. I like the Bellas for what they are, but I just don't like how WWE presents them as legends and pioneers and trendsetters, especially when they were very good, for two people that just came in as models. Oh, let's try wrestling now. Two Hooters girls that decided to become wrestlers. I know they're more than just Hooters girls, but, for them to do as well as they did, I thought was great, but I don't consider them to be super crazy legends. I don't believe they did anything they didn't do anything to hurt the women's division, but I certainly don't credit them with starting it. And Triple H is tapping out instantly, but there is no tap out here to the Lion Tamer. The Walls of Jericho. There was a Lion Tamer on Dynamite last week. But even though I'm kind of anti-Bellas, one thing I was mentioning to Elizabeth when we were watching it, I'm like, one thing I will say is that Brie must be cool. I know I hate Brie mode and all that I find just ridiculously stupid, but she is married to Bryan Danielson. And Bryan Danielson is a cool fucking dude. And he would not be with someone who's awful or unintelligent or just like a dumbass. So Brie has got to have some really good qualities. So maybe I've been a little too hard on the Bellas. Hard walls here. Finally, Stephanie's getting in. She's teased it twice. There she is. What is she going to do? This is going to be, yep. By my count, I'm pretty sure this is the third. Wow, Walls of Jericho on Stephanie, and she's tapping. She is tapping. Triple H makes the save. So this is the third match, I think. There might have been more that we've seen men really beating hard on the women. Like, not just even a little bit. Like, not like a bump, but like physically beating the shit out of. I didn't realize how common, I guess it was. I knew they did it. I just didn't realize it was during 50% of the pay-per-view. Triple H has got the sledgy. Oh, sledgy. Ooh. Okay, that felt like a pretty real sledgehammer bump. I'm wondering if they're going to swap out the sledgehammer with a gimmicked slingshot into the ring post. Hey, buddy. Jericho's got it now. Oh, I know we get some kind of a table bump here. It's got to be a pedigree or something. Jericho's probably like, all right, finally, this brutal match is almost over, but I got to eat one more gnar bump first, and I don't want to do that. Oh, we're going to get a belly to back on the timekeeper stand or off that onto the table. Okay. That didn't look that great. That bump probably hurt like shit, and it didn't even look spectacular. They should have done something else. Is this going to be the whole finish? I think the finish is Triple H gets up at the last minute. I hope I'm not spoiling anything. I think we all know the finish here. Or at least the outcome. Yeah, it doesn't look like Jericho's going to make this, so I think Triple H is going to make it up here. 7. So it's our second last man standing match. It might be our first one with an actual winner. 9. Get up, Triple H. And then right back down. Triple H. Yeah, I saw I watched the, when I was trying to think about watching the Woodstock thing. That's why I mentioned it. I looked up the trailer and I was like, I thought I saw The Miz. So hopefully he was just there and not really that much a part of all the craziness that went on. So I thought about watching it. We'll probably pull it up and check it out this week. But it looked interesting because I remember all that really well when it was in the news and when it was all happening. And I've known multiple people in my life who were at the first Woodstock. And they were bitching and, you know, what a travesty it was and all that stuff. The blood of her husband on her hands. Look at Stephanie. Freaked out. Well, good for Triple H and Stephanie for, I mean, they're really putting over Jericho here. I mean, I know Triple H won, but, I mean, at least they're selling that he's a star that's nothing not to be trifled with, you know. Jericho can hold his own. He's completely annihilated Triple H, had him tapping out in the ring at one point, has his wife terrified because of the blood and the carnage inflicted on her husband. You know, that all tells you that, you know, Jericho is a main player. They accomplished a lot. That's why this is one of my favorite pay-per-views ever. Is because even though each guy lost, they shined, all of them. And I think this was the test, you know, throw them out there, see what they can do on our WWE stage. Because Jericho had been there less than a year at this point. And it was sink or swim. You know, so I think the careers of all of them benefited from this. Oh, wow, look at there, old Jim Dotson, the old head security guard that passed away. I saw him a bunch of times, too, going to the shows back in the day. Rockin' Benoit. I mean, as a fan, I was so happy that WWE had Chris Benoit. I wanted them to have him ever since he basically came to the States and started working. I remember when he showed up in WCW, and I had already seen him in magazines and in a couple matches on tape and stuff by that point, and he was regarded pretty highly regarded among the smart wrestling fans. And I remember like, damn it, WCW, they got another one. They're just signing everybody. Can't catch a break. And then when I saw him in WCW and how good he was and how much he mirrored Dynamite, I wanted him in WWE for so long. So when those Radicals showed up, like for me as a fan, it was surreal. And as good as the other three were, especially Eddie, they were all invisible to me. When I saw, all my brain saw the night that the Radicals debuted was Benoit. I'm like, Benoit, Benoit, Benoit. And then as I stared at the situation longer, the other three wrestlers began to appear. And I'm like, holy shit, and Eddie, and Dean. and Saturn. This is fucking great. But I was basically like, finally, they have Benoit, finally. And I was thrilled. I was like, oh, there's going to be no stopping WWE now. WCW is dead in the water. Their core backbone is gone. That fully loaded. And these guys had good matches together, Benoit and Rock. It's really a shame that Chris turned out to be the person he turned out to be, and we lost Nancy and Daniel and all of that. And if Chris would have not committed those crimes, if he would have not had the problems that he had, and he would have continued his career normally and had no issues at all, it would have been cool to see Rock and Benoit talk about these old times. How Rock will sometimes interact with Kurt Angle or Foley or somebody else that he has history with. You know, if we had everybody still here and the whole Benoit family was intact, it would be fun to watch Rock reminisce about these matches. But, you know, Benoit's legacy can never be celebrated, you know. We're safe here because we're on YouTube. If we want to watch a Benoit match, we can. But technically, that crossface The Rock put that on was hilarious. I mean, just in this short little clip package here, you can see how hard Benoit just worked. I mean, all the bumps he took. He went into that soda machine 100 miles an hour. Took a rock bottom on the hood of a car. Oh, you're wearing a shirt? Oh, I was like, what is Benoit wearing? He's wearing one of the Rock's shirts that he tore to hell. Wearing it like a trophy. Shane. Oh, my God. I apologize on behalf of white people that some of us look like Shane McMahon. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. It's out of my hands. If I could stop it, I would. I loved Fink's Benoit. Love it. Yeah, the diving headbutts did him no favors, but I think that was almost the least of it. Diving headbutts are usually pretty safe. Benoit and Dynamite definitely had a different way of doing it, where I believe they would smash their head into the person for a little bit, but generally it was into the shoulder or a meatier part of the body. I think a lot of it is just the bumps, the chair shots that he took, and just the insane way he bumped around that jostled his brain around, just like football players taking repeated tackles over and over and over, you know, and that can really affect your brain. And so he wrestled such a physical style. I think it was his physical style and how balls to the wall he was to make everything look so good that I think he bumped too hard, to be honest. He was always just so intense in the ring. And I think it was a combination of all of that that did his brain in. Plus everything else. He didn't have the, you know, most stable personal life either. He did his share of drugs as well and had some issues with steroids and all that stuff. So that's a big ass train wreck cocktail waiting to happen. Oh yeah, hey Tito. Taking a bath. Good to see. They hardly ever make appearances back there. You might be right about that, Ben. Shane might have been on his way with the Radicals, but I don't think he really got along with Triple H and stuff that well, or he had kind of had heat from his Dean Douglas days. So maybe he felt that grass wasn't maybe necessarily going to be greener for him. But he would have been somewhat protected in the Radicals. But when you see what Saturn wound up doing, you got to think that Shane Douglas probably would not have done much. He was probably better off in WCW because he could shine more there. He is in a land of giants here, superstars in this company. Rock and Stone Cold and Triple H and Taker and guys like that. And now you got Eddie there, you got Benoit there, you got Angle, you got Jericho. Those guys, in my mind, were all better than Shane Douglas. So, Kane. Oof. So, he made the right call. And I like Shane Douglas. I just don't think he would have succeeded much at this time. What? Shane? There we go. Big ass bump. I love seeing the little fans on the announce table. It's a technique that I've picked up in the summertime here whenever I do my live streams. I got a little fan right here on me because it can get hot. I got my light on me and all that. So, and it's summertime, and if I'm doing a daytime stream, it's hot as fuck if I'm not running the AC. So the fan helps. You all right, Shane? Get up. So much blood in the ring. Look at all that blood. They didn't even change the fucking ring apron back then. Now they tie down 3 or 4. That way they can just pull it off, pull the next one off, and reveal the one underneath. You know what is interesting that I just thought of now? So we have Benoit, Angle, and Jericho, all 3 with the big matches tonight, right? In this year, all within a matter of, 6 months, they would all technically hold, even if for a moment, the WWE title. Jericho had that deal a few months ago on Raw where he beat Triple H for it, and then they reversed the decision, but he was champion for a while. He put the belt around his waist and everything. Benoit does the thing here, and I think he even does something at Unforgiven where he kind of technically wins the title. And then Angle would go on to win the title the following month after that. So all 3 of them would kind of get a taste of being champion, but only Angle would be officially the champion. It's kind of interesting. What are they saying? Oh, Benoit sucks. No, he doesn't. There's one thing I can say that it's hard to appreciate and grasp. As a fan on this night in 2000 watching this match, and they had run-ins before, but just seeing Benoit in the ring against The Rock was still super surreal. It was the equivalent of seeing AJ come into WWE, or Cody coming to WWE after being in AEW, or Danielson or Punk going to AEW and wrestling outside of WWE, and how weird it is to see that. This is the equivalent of that. It was the same thing, and I remember thinking, like, damn, it's just crazy that we're watching a Chris Benoit against The Rock match. What happened a couple years later when we get The Rock and Hulk Hogan, it's like I never thought that would even be possible. Ugh. Big superplex. Rock just right in the blood. I wonder if that was a Kevin Dunn decision ultimately as their production evolved over the years, because now every time they spill shit all over the ring, I'm pretty sure they just changed the mat. So I wonder if Kevin Dunn was like, Vince, it would be nice if we could change the mat. We don't have to look at the blood all night. But only in his Kevin Dunn voice. See, everything on Benoit is laid in. I mean, that was a 25-yard extra point he just kicked on Benoit's ribs. Yeah, we are still over a year away. We are ooh, big belt shot. Look good at the sell on the Rock. He bobbled his head a little bit. Yeah, 14 months away from 9/11. Something that I also remember all too well. I don't exactly remember the total finish here. I mean, I kind of think I know what happens, but I'm not sure totally how it's executed. I don't remember. Even Lawler called out the Rock head bounce. He's like, look at his head bouncing. Rock just overdid everything. The way he would sell, when I was watching the Rock and Austin Rivals A&E doc with Elizabeth, and we were both laughing at how he would sell that stunner. I'm like, in a way, he's Shawn Michaels SummerSlam 2005ing Austin doing that, but it looks so awesome anyway. Sharpshooter. Benoit had an okay sharpshooter. I'm a sharpshooter snob, and I'm very particular, and I get furious when I see wrestlers do it because they suck at it. But this is an okay one. This is at least as good as Owens. Maybe not quite as good as Owens, but it's better than Sting's. The only one who does it right is Cesaro or Claudio. Ugh. Work them knees, Benoit. I mean, look at the physique on Benoit, which was also really eerie because not only was his ring style the same as Dynamite, he was legit the same size, weight, and build. Everything was the same. Dynamite had that same kind of stocky muscularness to him. Even their muscles matched, which was just so weird to me. Yeah, Rock doesn't have a great sharpshooter. There's worse than Rock, but he's had a couple that I thought were okay. And the rest I give him a pass on because he's the Rock. I'm like, okay. But Sting should know better. What's up, Grega John? Tito's still hanging. What's up, bud? Oh. Earl giving it to The Rock for doing that, but I thought it was a good spot. So we have no announce tables. You just got dudes chilling in chairs out there. They're the true ringside seats now. If you're row one behind the announce table, are you really row one? That's one for the philosophers. Oh, no. Boy, who's fucking with the steps? The cameraman? Earl was messing with Shane, but the ring steps were moving on the outside of the ring, and Rock and Benoit are in the ring. JR, don't give King too much shit. He's on the verge of saving your life here pretty soon against Taz. So you just chill. Oklahoma. Fucking Shane. I don't know why we were tucking in our shirts back then like that. I think I did the same thing for a while. Oh. I don't know what he got. It looked like beer right in Benoit's face. Ooh. I don't know if that suplex from the outside of the barricade was hard to do because of the beer on the floor. Like Benoit might have slipped. Well, the Lex Luger doc is over, so if anybody watched that, I hope it was good. I've got it DVR'd. I'll be checking it out later tonight. We got lucky, knock on wood, with the interruptions that we were having. That the last 3 streams, it just seems like we had a couple of issues for the first 20 minutes, and then the issues went away, and that's been the pattern for the last 3. So I'll look into getting that worked out, but it didn't do us any harm tonight. Man, I was freaked out in the beginning. I'm like, son of a bitch. Yeah, this year was 15 years, which is nuts. Because it still is kind of pretty vivid, and I remember going to work the next day and talking to one of my friends about it, and being like, and I was just like spooked. He's like, she goes, I've never even seen you like this. I'm like, I can't even describe to you as somebody that doesn't know this world of wrestling, how fucking insane this is, you know? Like, this is a guy that I've watched wrestle. This is a guy that I've met, you know? This is nuts. I don't know why Earl is even putting up with Shane being out there at all. Kick out by The Rock. I think Foley has something to do with the end of this too, right? Oh, yikes. Yeah, I would have no desire to drive past the house where anything that evil took place. But I really want to view... I'm okay in understanding that going in is not going to be an option, but I at least want to see the Hart House. I just want to see it. But I don't know when the hell I'll ever be in Calgary or what would ever put me there. But if I'm ever there, that's the first place I'm going. Oh, that was a rough rope bump. Brock's probably like, these WCW guys are good. That Olympian ain't half bad either. Knows his stuff. Hey, buddy. I'm doing a live stream right now. There's nothing I can get up and do for you at the moment until The Rock and Chris Benoit have finished their fight. Is that okay with you? Top rope headbutt. Here it comes. Jesus. See, now that was one of his best ones. That was the perfect length across the ring. He soared through the air, perfect camera angle, and he landed that perfectly right on The Rock's shoulder. And those are rough bumps, man. That has every bit to do with his, his brain troubles, as many of his moves did. But look at this. Jesus. God. No margin for error there. There it is. People's elbow. Crowd, man, we popped so hard for this whenever it happened. I was very self-aware, though. I knew what a ridiculous move it was. But that's part of why it was so awesome. And Rock would win matches with this shit, which was even funnier. I'm like, it's just an elbow with a dance first. Like, unbelievable. That's wrestling. So don't claim that AEW is too silly and you fucking pop for the people's elbow. If the people's elbow never existed and somebody in AEW did the people's elbow, the bad faith haters would poo themselves and smear it on their girlfriends. Oh, another superplex. This will be a good one, too. Jeez, and Rock's so big. Wow. I mean, good. I like this, too, because I thought it was so good, so awesome that The Rock was keeping pace with Benoit. I mean, Benoit was pretty skilled at this point. Rock was still only a few years in. Benoit had a little more on him and was very well trained, and he'd already worked in lots of countries. He's had more overall experience. And so not only are you trying to analyze if Benoit can hang on a superstar WWE stage, but you got to see if The Rock can hang with somebody in the ring that's this good. And they fucking both... Oh. And they both lived up to it. Oh. That's the Earl bump, so this must be where Benoit gets some sort of a victory. Is it Earl coming 2 and counting 3, or is another referee come out there? Oh, Shane, you're about to eat it. Nope, Shane gets away. Oh, there's the crossface. Oh, that's right. It's the stip, right? That Rock can't get disqualified. That's what it is. Earl's about to call for the bell because he thinks Rock hit him with the chair. Oh, I get it. Okay, so Earl's going to mistakenly disqualify The Rock. He's going to lose the title. Rock is still hanging on to the crossface. I think that's so they can get a good camera shot of him reacting to this. Oh, love it. And new. Look at Rock. That's awesome. I forgot about the stip. I was thinking it was going to be a 3 count. And Shane hits him with the chair. Rock's blading. Making it obvious, too. Earl, take this blade. Is he passing it to Earl? No, maybe. Yeah, he is. Look, watch Earl. I got it, Rock. I got your blade. I'll get it for you. Hilarious. So what, does Foley come out and be like, I don't think so, Joe? Robert, have I spotted Bill Apter yet? No. Is he out there? I didn't notice if, well, sometimes George, the photographer, who looks a little bit like Apter, is out at a lot of these shows. I haven't noticed him tonight. There's Foley. Well, we know what he's here to do. Well, it is kind of bullshit. He is not the one that hit the referee, so. There you go. Yeah, well, Foley's the commissioner. He's the one that made the stip, and he's the one that can make sure the stip's followed through with. Yeah, none of us saw it. Did you guys see it? I didn't see it. Because there was no disqualification. You are not the champion, Benoit. Oh, what a shot. The bring it with the blood and the crowd. Ugh. Those were the days, y'all. Those were the days. And that's when you knew, oh, well, Benoit's not going to win this now. That's exactly what I mean. And I assume we're just going to get a rock bottom and a pin here. A couple of Germans. Damn, what's in the ring? Is that thumbtacks or something? Or something glass? Oh, maybe just ice. I was like, don't bump on that. I think it's just ice from that beverage that got thrown in the ring. Shane, I was about to say, is Shane still out there? He's right there. What are we up to here? Okay, so we got like 3 minutes left on this show, so this must be really quick. He's not lucky now. Come on, Rock. Get to those ropes. That would be crazy if they had him tap here again or something like that. Rock fighting out of this is crazy. He was so far from the ropes. He's going to make it now. There you go. One finger. One fingernail. One people's finger. Which one's the longest? The middle one. Rock I loved Benoit's boots, the way he would stomp. Dynamite did the same thing. There's the rock bottom. Ugh. Big stiff bump too. And Rock retains. And escapes. And Shane's like, how? What the fuck? Well, that's what happens there, Shane O'Mac. I was very happy at the end of this show because I was excited that we were seeing different matchups. To me, the roster had improved so much since like 98 when the Attitude Era in Austin really started getting rolling, but they still didn't have a super deep roster yet. And then here 2 years later, and you've added so much, and guys have gotten even more over at the same time. But, you know, a lot of times it still was, you know, Rock and Austin, Triple H, Taker, a lot of those guys on top. So the fact that you're seeing, you know, the rise of three simultaneously with Angle, Jericho, and Benoit kind of all rising in their own way and going in their own directions and stuff was awesome. And they gave us, to me, it was just a cool thing that I wasn't expecting from WWE. I'm like, wow, they gave all those, you know, they gave two WCW guys and a newcomer matches against the best that they have. I just thought it was awesome. It was different. Because if you notice, it was kind of just a one-time thing. I mean, all three of those feuds had their issues, and it spanned several weeks, but it was just kind of for that time. It didn't go spill into 3-4 pay-per-views really after that. So, as a matter of fact, Angle would be moving on to Rock and finish his deal with Triple H, too, at the next pay-per-view. So that was all super fun. I thought it was a fun pay-per-view at the time, and it was one of, you know, dating back to my old days here on the channel, was one of the first reviews I ever did because it was a show that I always fondly remembered. So we will revisit this maybe and review it one day and talk about it more in depth because it was a lot of fun. So thanks again for being back on a watch along. So here's the plan. We'll be back up here a week from tonight to do SummerSlam 1990. That will be really fun. And then the following week, as long as I got to check my schedule, but as long as everything works out, we'll do SummerSlam 91. We were talking about that. And then after that, we'll maybe move away from SummerSlams and get into something else for watch-alongs. Also, for those who might be here with us tomorrow night, or might be watching Raw, I should say, tomorrow night, I'm not going to be here. Going to be taking a day trip up north a little bit to spend some time, some day camping at the beach, and just kind of hanging out, taking a day off, a little mini vacation. So I will not be home to watch Raw, but I have a feeling that Triple H might be doing some big shit tomorrow. We got a possibility of Johnny Gargano showing his face. Sasha and Naomi, I think, could turn up at any time. The tag team title tournament for the women is kicking off, and Triple H is kind of in surprise mode. So we could see some great things tomorrow. If we do, I will do my best to come up here on Tuesday and run some sort of a quick video or a mic drop or a news brief or something if anything major happens tomorrow night on Raw. And I'm also unavailable for Wednesday for the watch along again because I'm still at work, working a lot right now, busiest time of the year, and my boss just had a baby, so I'm all over the place. But I got 3 mic drops queued up with 2 more that I'm working on, so I'll sprinkle a few of those throughout the channel probably tomorrow just to give something here, and then I'll try to be up here this week before we make it to the next Winged Eagle podcast on Saturday. So I apologize for the no Raw review or AEW watch along this week, but we will be back to full-blown mode here as soon as that blows over. So in the meantime, tell your friends about me, let everybody know, get some subscribers over here, and I will be catching you possibly this week, depending on what we see go down on tomorrow night's Raw. You guys have a great Sunday night, and thanks again for being here. Y'all take care. Peace.